Welcome back to the channel. Here we are in ranked battles. We've got the team we created yesterday. Just going to have a go at single battle. We're not as high as we are in doubles, but we'll give it a go. See how the team performs in singles, see if it's any better or worse. We had some good success in multis yesterday, doubles. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. And otherwise, we will get straight into it. All right, so we've got Umbreon, Frostlass, Magernium, Whimsicott, Glimora, and Arachnoid. So we've got a few options there for what they lead with. I think in most scenarios, we're good to lead with just Garchomp, put a bit of immediate pressure on. Then they don't have too much physical. I reckon Pidgeot will give them a bit of a run for their money. And I don't know if Cerulege is going to be any good here. But I reckon Tinkerton could do some damage here. So let's see what they decide to lead with, what they decide to bring. And they're leading with Glimora, which is pretty strong lead. What you would expect in singles. Glimora is great for setting up entry hazards. It likely has a sash. Are we worried about any flying or levitating? Otherwise, we can just straight lock into Earthquake. Spiky Shield. Does that poison? Because it's a protect. No, just Spiky Shields. It's another alternative to protect and detect. So realizes I'm locking into Earthquake. Throws out Whimsicott, which is definitely going to do less damage, grasping resistant, but yeah, that's not a whole lot of damage. Puts Whimsicott in the field, which means they can set up, which means they're probably going for... They'd probably go for a Moonblast in this, right? So I don't think Pidgeot's going to be a good switch in. They could take this opportunity to Tailwind. We'll see. I think Tinkerton's going to be a good trade-in. Just straight try to Encore me, but I was Choice Scarf. But anyway. Do we do the free Fake Out, or do we just go straight into Gigaton Hammer? I mean, free Fake Out's free Fake Out, but Gigaton Hammer I think is just going to apply a bit more pressure. Whimsicott with Leech Seed. That's fine. Just get rid of Whimsicott. 1 down, 2 to go. So we could see now the return of Glimora, which isn't terrible, but we've gotten Whimsicott out the way now. Arachnoid. So yeah, Gigaton Hammer's not doing much here. I don't really need Tinkerton to take down Glimora. So I may as well just do a bit of damage while I'm out. 36%. Power split. Shed its power. And then it's got the Leech Seed out. Alright. Is this a time to change? Yeah, I think so. I think this is a good opportunity for Pidgeot to come in. I mean, Bug, Water. What have they got? Aqua Ring. Righto. Surrounded itself with water. Bit of healing. But I don't think that's going to work. So they could swap in Glimora here to avoid big hurricane, but maybe they don't. They do not. Okay. They're just going to enjoy a tasty hurricane. Okay. Maybe there's a priority move. No. Oh, it survived. Quite bulky. Wonder if they knew they were going to survive. Liquidation for a bit of water damage. I lose a bit of defense. They get the health back from the Veil of Water. So we only need to do 10%. I'll just stick to Hurricane. Yeah, just get rid of it off the field. 2 down, 1 to go. I'm not sure what their strategy was here, to be honest. Like, Glamoura's a solid lead, sets up, they swapped out immediately, obvious because Garchomp was just going to OHKO it, which maybe means it's not sashed at all. Maybe it's Mega. Do I care about losing a Pokemon? I guess I could just swap back to Tinkerton, right? Be a good opportunity. They might use some ancient power, some sort of a rock move against me. It is Mega, so it wasn't sashed. It was going to get OHKO'd. But we'll see what they decided to go with. Power Gem. Some sort of a rock move. Power Gem is a rock move. So yeah, that would have probably hurt a bit. Now, are they going to do their spiky shield? They are. Excellent. So we fake out to cover that, because if we lock into Gigaton Hammer there, we won't be able to use it next turn. But now that they've spiky shield, it's spiky shield's the one that hurts if you physically attack it. But we apparently didn't physically attack it last time, so no recoil, but Gigaton Hammer comes out. OHKO. 1 hit KO. See ya later. And we did that without losing a Pokemon, which will contribute to our weekly task, which is good. Alright, yeah, 1 down. Let's see how many more to go. There you go, daily missions, ranked 1, ranked without, and super effective. There we go. Smashing it. More battle pass. Let's keep going. So yeah, we're at rank 3, so more likely to see, I guess, some random teams, although it wasn't overly random, it's just very slow. But let's see who we're up against now. Alright, we get, ooh, this is Big Fairy. I'm going to assume they're the Fairy gym leader. So yeah, we just lead with Tinkerton. If they lead with Mimikyu, there's a reason I enjoy Mold Breaker on Tinkerton. We'll see that come into effect. I mean, we're pulling out all of our answers to Fairy here. Garchomp is surprisingly going to be with the Poison Jab. Could do a bit of damage here. But also is going to take a big chunk of damage. I don't know whether they got Fizz, Azumarill. Special. We'll let everything is special. But I think Pidgeot's going to clean up. Maybe Rotom Wash? Maybe Rotom Wash. No, we'll get Pidgeot in. Yeah, I'm worried about taking Decidueye, being fighting. They've got a lot of answers to fighting. You could say about 6. So Decidueye is not going to be having a great time. But we'll see who they decide to live with. Okay, they lead with Altaria, which is Dragon Flying. Do they stay in? They're not going to be able to Dragon Pulse, because I am immune. But I can just play rough, see what's happening. There's 87% damage in one go. Do they have Altaria with Earthquake? Very interesting. Unfortunately, not enough to KO. So they decide now whether they stay in or go. Are they going to try an Earthquake again? I reckon they might, and this might be a good time to get Pidgeot in. Because Tinkerton's our big answer to things, a big answer to fairies, not so much big answer to the dragon that's on the field. I mean, we could have just as easily swapped into our Garchomp here, but are we going to be faster than a +1 Altaria? That's the question. If we aren't faster, yeah, okay. They're going to Mega. Alright, it's Mega time. Wow, they just almost blew their Mega on a turn 1 against Tinkerton. That is a gamble. I don't know if I've not seen Mega Altaria. That is one big fluffy cloud. But let's go Mega Pidgeot. See if we can outspeed their +1. We do not. Body Slam would turn that into Fairy because Altaria has the Pixelate ability. So is Mega Altaria Fizz, or are they just getting the off chance paralyze, which they successfully got off? So, I mean, in their books, they won. But let's see who comes out next. Clefable, so not Mega, or can't be Mega. Could still have a Mega Stone. But let's try go for Tailwind. There you go, Cosmic Power, which increases defense and special defense. We're going to Tailwind, and our Paralysis was halving our speed, so that's not ideal. Tailwind gets us back up to normal. So we will try for Hurricane. Goes through Paralysis. 110 special attack does 48%. So they're just going to keep Cosmic Powering. And we will keep rolling the dice. Yeah, we get through Paralysis again. Do another big chunk of change. Are they going to attack? Finally. They finally decide is a good time. No, let's heal. Moonlight. Big heal. Righto. We're not going to be able to sustain this, and we finally got the Paralysis lock. This is going to be one of those really annoying. Well, I mean, they can increase their SPDF all they like. That's why we've got a mix, or why we've got our Fizz attackers in the back. Alright, so Clefable's getting pretty quick now. Maybe we get a Confusion off. Still big damage. What do we got? This one. We don't have Tailwind on anymore. Do they eventually attack us? No, they're just going to keep healing. Back up to 90%. We get our Tailwind. We'll go for a Hurricane. No, there we go. Paralysis again. More Cosmic Power. Okay, so it should be at like +4. Oh, it is defense and special defense. This could not end well, but we'll see. Crits still go through the stages, so there is a chance. All right, let's see if we can get a defeater +6. If we could do, is it this one? This one. That one? See, he's ×4 defense, ×4 special defense. So let's see if he's finally going to attack. She's going to finally attack us. Or they're just going to keep bulking. Oh, there we go. We got the Confusion. Excellent. Doosh. Yes. 2 points of damage. Alright, we lost Tailwind. So let's get that back up. We should have definitely swapped out by now into something else, but oh, we get Confusion again. The Tailwind back. Just a subtle reminder that we are still paralyzed, but we get more Hurricane off. Decent damage. I mean, even with +6, it's still not huge. Does this have any offense, or is this just meant to be a stall for PP drain? You don't see too many of these out and about, but I guess someone's having a go at doing a stall. Maybe they'll run out of PP. I don't know what their plan is. Baton pass? Surely. Anything? Just going to Cosmic Power and Moonlight all day. No, we'll keep hurricaning. There's the confusion again. This might be our opportunity to swap if they're not going to attack. Oh, they finally Moonblast us. Alright, that's time to get this off the board, shall we? Tinkerton comes in, breaks the mold, go for a fake out, just to get a tiny little bit of chip. Chip, chip, chip. There's 3%. We get a bit of life back from that. Excellent. They're still just rocking in. Let's see what a 150 base power does to a +6. Not a lot. They're going to Moonlight that. Snapped out of confusion. Flamethrower. Alright, was not expecting that. So, Moonlight, Cosmic Power, Moonblast, and Flamethrower. So, they had us a little bit covered, but we definitely dicked around. We should have just swapped in a lot earlier. And that will probably cost us the game. So unless this crits, it doesn't crit, they'll Moonblast, and that'll be the end of us. Or we get poison. This should OHKO us for sure. No, we live on 3. So we've still got a chance. They take some poison. We could get in with a poison jab. And this might do enough to get the KO, but we'll turn too late, I think, or a Pokemon too late. No, they're on 5. Alright, so yeah, that was our fault. I was just interested to see where that played out, but it was just a stall waste of time to get to +6. So we will learn from our mistakes and hopefully not make that again. There you go. Fairy Tale Girl. Oh, they probably had a good time. I don't know how often that combo is going to go off, but they managed to get it off, so... Alright, straight into the next one. Oh, what have we got this time? We got Garchomp, Primarina, Archelodon, Meowscarada, Azal, Mega Lopunny, and Gengar. Alright, so who's their lead? Are they going to lead with Archelodon? Which is pretty standard. So we're definitely going to Decidueye and Garchomp. Garchomp's risky here because they've got 2 triple axle users plus the Moonlight, the Fairy. But we do need Garchomp against their Garchomp. And I guess we don't want to be overly weak to ice. Do we take fire? Maybe we change this up. Maybe we lead with Ceruledge and have the other 2 in the back. Alright, I've got a plan. Let's see what they decide to go with. Okay, they're leading with Lopunny, which is not great for us. Because they're going to fake out. Because they've got Scrappy. I don't think Lopunny has many priority moves, so the fake out's going to give us weak armor. Unless they just go straight in for a kill, then we're winning, but they go for a fake out, which is what you would expect. That does give us weak armor. It does block our sword stance. If we had protect there, that would be ideal, but we don't. So let's just... We've lost our sash now. So we gambled. The punny wasn't ideal, but we'll see if Bitter Blade can do a bit of damage. There you go. We can get at least 64% in. Almost got us back up to full, but close combat will take us out, which is unfortunate. I don't know if we could have swapped into anything then. Because yeah, we just had Decidui and Garchomp in the back. And I think this might be a good idea. Good time to get Old Mate in. They're probably going to swap to Primarina if we do. So let's... You could probably Big Brain here and just swap straight into... we could do that. If they're going to swap into Primarina here, we could try and just swap into Decidui and catch them on the switch. Or we can go straight for Poison Jab. Unless they're going to try and stay in... it's just Earthquake. They could try and stay in for the triple axle, but Earthquake could take him out. I don't know if Poison Jab would have done the job, but we'll see who else they have in the back. Okay, we've got enemy Garchomp. Do we try an Earthquake? Are they going to Dragon Claw? We're locked into Earthquake because of the Choice Scarf. So let's jump to Decidui. And hopefully he can take a hit. Okay, they've gone for Outrage. That's big damage. I don't know if we're faster than Garchomp, so we might just try and get a Shadow Sneak in. But again, I can't really lock into Dragon Claw if they've got Primarina in the back. But hopefully a bit of chip damage here will let us Earthquake. They're going to be confused now. And we're going to have to lock into what we lock into. Maybe we lock in Dragon Claw, and if they've got Primarina in the back, we lose. So Dragon Claw, Oko. We take a bit from the rough skin. And pray they didn't bring Primarina. They brought Archelodon. Could have locked into Earthel. Ideally lock into Earthquake, but we've got Dragon Claw. It's not going to do a lot if they're stalwart, and they're stalwart, so every time I hit them, they're going to proc defense. But Draco Meteor should finish me off. Alright. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else we could have done there. But either way, we should now be reset to the bottom of rank 3. We will, yeah. So let's continue. Did we drop a rank then? I didn't think you could drop a rank. Yeah, so they beat us on the lead there, which was unfortunate. But let's have a look again. Okay, so we've got King Gambit, Aegislash, Gallade, Gengar, Archelodon, and Pelipper. Who are they going to lead this time? We've seen Gallade lead. I'm used to seeing Archelodon. But let's lead Rotom Wash. We'll take Decidueye or King Gambit. And then Garchomp going to be a good answer here. Pidgeot has the flame. No, let's go Garchomp. And see what they decide to lead with. Could be Pelipper. So we've got that covered if they're going to just come in and set the rain up. But if they lead with Archelodon, or they lead with Aegislash. Now, do they King Shield here? Who do they think we were going to lead with? Because we could just as easily Nasty Plot here, and we are faster. They've decided to attack. They might King Shield next turn then. They've got the same idea I have. Buff. Hydro Pump could be good here. Do they go again? Do we risk it? They might Shadow Sneak. No, they're getting a King Shield. Another Nasty Plot there would have been alright, but it's alright. They're scouting. Alright, so we tried Thunderbolt. Let's give Hydro Pump a go, because they might be expecting another Thunderbolt now. We miss. There we go. Wouldn't be the first time Rotom Wash lost me a game because of a 90% move. Poltergeist hits my Citrus Berry at +2. This is going to do big damage. I am somewhat bulky, but not bulky enough. Yeah. Hydro Pump 90%. Sometimes fails. Alright, he's probably going to King Shield again. Triple Arrows isn't doing much. Leaf Blade's doing much. We need to try and get this off the field quick. Otherwise, we've lost this. We had the advantage, and we appear to be losing it. So, yeah, let's... King Shield. And does that... No, because we're Earthquaking, it doesn't lower our attack. It's the same with the Spiky Shield. We're not attacking them, we're attacking the ground. Excellent. Alright, let's try that again. Let's see if they're sashed. Not sashed. Alright, so we've dealt with that. Critical hit may have helped, so I appreciate that. Let's see what they got next. Gallade. What have we got? Psychic Fighting. Gallade's not usually that strong. It is Mega Gallade. This is going to be a big Ice Punch if we don't KO. Hopefully we can do some damage. Ooh, 94%. Another crit from Garchomp. Sick. Triple Axle will finish them off before they even finish the triple. So that's worked in our favour quite nicely. And then who's their last? Do we get to see? Or are they just going to... It is King Gambit. Alright, so... Supreme Overlord. He gets some bonuses, but... Could be a Sucker Punch here, and this is going to hurt. But not enough to KO. He gets Rough Skinned and Earthquaked. And that is almost enough to pick up the KO. So the best he's got... Oh, plus the Citrus Berry. So the best he's got is another Sucker Punch, which would probably finish me off. Which is fine. It's why we brought Decidueye. So I think we've got this one wrapped up. So swap into Decidueye. Weaving at our use extremely effective move. So I don't think a Supreme Overlord Sucker Punch KOs me, but we will see. Didn't go for that, just went for a Kowtow Cleave or something, and that'll cost him the game. So, GG. We had answers to their questions, so that was good. That'll put us back up to rank 3. There you go. Use extremely effective moves. Yep, back up to rank 3. See, the team, again, it's just a preference. I kind of like these styles of teams because you've got different options for different things and there's so many different combinations. This is just one. After this, I think we'll change it up and maybe build a new team. But for now, we have Samurott, Gyarados, Scizor. So Garchomp, Volcarona, and Melodic. So they're very water heavy. So I think Rotom Wash is going to come out here. Don't know if Rotom's going to lead though. So we'll Pidgeot lead. We'll definitely pocket a Rotom. And then we need something for Melodic and Volcarona and Garchomp. And I think that answer is Garchomp. But my only answer to Scizor will be Pidgeot. So I'll have to make sure if they decide to take Scizor not to be frivolous with my Pidgeot. So yeah, Tinkerton here, not good against fire, water. I mean, it's not even really good against the Garchomp here because Garchomp's Earthquake just wrecks Tinkerton. But we've got some good responses, and some retro music. They've decided to leave with Samurott, which has like Sacred Sword, has some funky stuff. Do we need to Tailwind? Nah, let's just Hurricane. See what they can do. See if they're faster. I think Samurott is, or can be, quite fast. Just not as fast as Pidgeot. So at least if we survive, we can set up Tailwind next turn, but they're on 4%. He's got an Ice Beam. Does not KO. It could Sucker Punch here. I think it has Sucker Punch, but we'll just Hurricane again. Vacuum Wave. Bit of chip more damage before it gets taken out. So yeah, Hurricane was correct over switching out. Alright, 1 down, 2 to go. Pidgeot Mega. Highly rate. Alright, now we got Gyarados. So they brought 2 water in. Intimidate losing attack doesn't impact me overly. They brought 2 water in. Does that mean they're trying to hide Scizor in the back? Let's swap into Rotom now. It's best just to address Gyarados immediately. They could Dragon Dance here, which could be bad. They're going to Mega Gyarados. Alright. So not Mega Scizor then. So are we not expecting the Scizor? Gyarados, Mold Breaker. Yeah, there's the Dragon Dance that we want to try and get ahead of. So they could... Waterfall's pretty standard for Gyarados. Power Whip though, that's going to hurt. And KO. Alright. We're in a bit of trouble here. Power Whip Dragon Dance. So now's our time to Garchomp, because Hurricane and Heat Wave's not going to be doing much. Earthquake is Mold Breaker now, so could probably actually Earthquake Gyarados, right? Even though it appears to be flying. It is no longer, it's Water Dark. Yeah? Doesn't make sense to me. Usually they try and limit flying things to things that have flying. But I guess it'd be weird to see Gyarados squirming around on the ground. Earthquake connects. Does a decent chunk of change. The earthquake's in response. Cool. Alright. He's +1/+1, but I am faster with the choice scarf. I did 54%, so there's no reason why I wouldn't be able to do 54% again. Gyarados doesn't have any priority moves, so they either lose Gyarados here or swap. They have decided to lose Gyarados. Fair enough. Come on, Scizor. If you bring in 2 Wardets, oh, that's not good for them. I mean, I'd love to Rock Slide here, but I think we're just going to continue to Earthquake, because it's either going to Quiver Dance, and we can't lose a turn Switch and Swaption. They need to be pressured into attacking, or they just Quiver Dance. Okay. I mean, they get the special attack, special defense, and speed, but again, I still don't think that is enough to outspeed a Choice Scarf Garchomp. So they've taken the turn to buff themselves. If we'd swapped then, we might have been at a disadvantage. I don't know if Pidgeot's still faster, or how much they've invested in speed. So we'll continue to Earthquake. They're going to continue to Quiver Dance. Okay, now it's double speed. And usually in most scenarios, that is now faster than most things. We'll see if it's still faster than a Choice Scarf Garchomp. It is. Mystical Fire comes out, and that'll pick up the KO. So yeah, swapping out to swap into Rock Slide there, I don't know, would have been any better. And yeah, if it's faster than Garchomp Choice Scarf, it's going to be faster than Pidgeot. So I think we've lost that to their Volcarona. Good old Citrus Berry Volcarona. There you go. Yeah, I mean, if they continued to do that and I swapped into Pidgeot and Tailwinded, that would have been a good way to get rid of Volcarona. But I thought the Earthquake would do a bit, but wasn't expecting the Citrus Berry, which put it back up. If that wasn't there, ifs and buts. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, so we've got the Lopunny back again, the Bellybot, Corviknight, Starmie, again with the Glamora and Garchomp. So we've seen Lopunny lead, Glamora lead, sometimes Starmie. Ceruledge didn't work out last time we went for the lead, so I don't know if I want to be scared enough to do it, try it again. Yeah, let's gamble. We've got Pidgeot in the back. That'll help deal with the Corviknight. And then we're just going to have to Garchomp again to counter their Garchomp and Glamora. Pidgeot takes care of the Corviknight and the Lopunny. Garchomp takes care of the Bellybot. Yeah, I reckon that's alright. We're gambling. Ceruledge is awesome if you can get it set up. And I've had it set up a couple of times, and it's been really good. But you need them to physically attack you, which isn't always the case. There's that Lopunny lead, so we expect a fake out. Which is annoying, because we can't protect. And we know what's going to happen if we stay in. They're just going to close combat us. Is that terrible? Let's Garchomp. Let's have them fake out my rough skin, and we'll try Ceruledge a little bit later. So we'll learn from our mistakes. We'll try something different. There's the Mega Lopunny. And the fake out. As you would expect, humans have patterns and they are predictable. Now the question is, do we Earthquake here? The only one they could swap into, which would be bad, is Corviknight. Yeah. Let's do the Earthquake. It's 100 base power, so it's big damage. Still not enough for Lopunny. The triple axle comes out, and that should hopefully, if it attacked, it would have taken it out. The rough skin. Oh, they're just, nah, they're not having any of that. Missed an attack. I'll call it there. Fair enough. Alright, well that's how we beat Lopunny going forward. Write that down. Alright, gives us a little bit of points. Still got a little bit of time, so we'll do a couple more. Teams, yeah, performing alright. We've got, again, options. Obviously for singles you take out Protect, you swap other things in, so you've got a bit more coverage, a bit more of a wider range. But here we have the likely Hippowdon Sand Lead, but also Mimikyu, bit of Gyarados, Volcarona, Sizzle. So they've got a bit of everything. I think Rotom Wash here covers a fair chunk of the opening leads. We've got that Volcarona again, so we've got to be mindful about that. And I think our answer to that is probably a Rock Slide. Ceruledge. We'll take Pidgeot. Pidgeot's good because that gives us a special attacker. And then we need a Fizz, which everyone else remaining is. So, we've got our two special attackers. No, I don't think Tinkerton is a good matchup here. So let's just Garchomp. If in doubt, Garchomp. Having Choice Scarf gives you a multi-doubles single because you're not running Protect. Alright, let's see who they decide to lead with. Volcarona. So we've got a little bit of an upper hand here. They could Quiver Dance. We could just try straight Hydro Pump. Quiver Dance puts them a little bit ahead, but let's Nasty Plot. See if they swap. See if they decide to stay in. Ooh, Giga Drain. We survive. Get our Nasty Plot up. That makes us a bit more dangerous. And then we miss Hydro Pump. They could Giga Drain again. Or was that a crit? No, not a crit. Alright. Was not expecting that to KO, but I guess the first damage was a low attack roll. So they had potential to do more damage. Alright. We could have Garchomped into Rock Slide here as well. But I Pidgeotted to give us the option of Tailwind if we need it. And yeah, Bugfire. Not ideal against Pidgeot. Keep Garchomp in the back. There's Focus Sash. Oh, that's not something you see. Or is it? It's not common for me. There's the Quiver Dance. So we know one Quiver Dance isn't enough. So Fiery Dance. Big fire damage. Not enough to KO. Doesn't get the burn. We're special anyway. Alright, one down, two to go, and we've lost 1.5. Alright, let's see who they bring out next. Gyarados. And we've lost our Rotom, which is good for them. Not great for us, but let's Hurricane. I think I'm usually faster than Gyarados, and Hurricane does a fair bit of damage, even if they do Mega Evolve. I mean, Tailwind's not overly useful here. We've got Garchomp with Choice Scarf in the back. Mold Breaker. Yeah, we get the Hurricane off, do a bit of chip. 49%. Maybe we get confusion. Yes. 1 and 3. Yes. All right. And then, yeah, we just do that again. I mean, that's unlucky for them. But just one statistic changes completely the tide of battle. So we're on. Who we got left? Mimikyu. Alright, so yeah, we'll need to break the disguise. So we'll try a heat wave, try and get a burn on, break the disguise, get the burn on. That's wrecked them. Now they're only doing half fizz. So even if they play rough here, it's not really going to hurt. We've just probability'd 1 hour way out of this, because yeah, look at that. That was even a crit. So they're going to be spewing about the numbers. But yeah, now we'll just finish this off with a hurricane. And if this doesn't finish us off, we've got Garchomp in the back. Or it doesn't finish it off. Play rough could miss, but it doesn't. We're now forced to swap into our Choice Scuff Garchomp. And we could just wait out a turn, but let's get in on it. Hello. And yeah, we'll just Earthquake. They're only on 6%. Boom. Alright, yeah, well, I think we were losing that one. But the Hurricane Confusion into Gyarados really sealed the deal for us. So they're going to be spewing about that one for a little while, but our benefit for sure. So pretty happy with that. Mega Evolve. 2-win streak. Alright, try and get to rank 2. Sometimes you win through skill, sometimes you lose because you've made bad mistakes, or luck is against you, and then sometimes you win because numbers roll good. Alright, so we've got Frostlass, Garchomp, another Volcarona, another Primarina, Mimikyu. So, let's try something different. They're going to lead Volcarona. We've seen people lead Lopunny. But even if they do lead Lopunny, it's not great for us. Alright, let's lead Garchomp. Tinkerton in the back. I don't think they're going to lead Mimikyu. They've got the Lopunny, so that's usually the more popular choice. And yeah, leading Cerulege in this scenario is not great. Pidgeot has been absolutely killer, so Rotom, Decidueye, yeah, Ice, nah, Cerulege. Alright, let's go with that. See, I'm thinking they lead with Lopunny, because that's what people have been doing. But if they lead with their Volcarona, we're at least rocks on straight away. Mimikyu would be a bit annoying, but we'll see what they decide to go with. With 4 seconds remaining, they may have had a bit of a difficult choice with who to bring. See if we can keep our 2-win streak running. Where do they go? Frostlass. Excellent. I mean, excellent for them. They're likely to stay in and try Mega Evolve and Blizzard us, get the snow. If they Blizzard, not really much we can do. Earthquake. Let's go rocks on. We can try for some flinching goodness. But it's also single target rock slide, so it does a little bit more damage than it does in singles. But we don't get stabbed because we're ground dragon. There's the snow. Rock slide connects. Decent damage. But Blizzard's going to KO us. For sure. Dead. That's alright. We've got... That'll give us a safe switch in for Pidgeot's Heat Wave. So Not all hope is lost. Unless we Gigaton Hammer. Who's got faster? 159? Yeah, right. Tinkerton's the switch. I know Frostlass is somewhat faster. So let's, fake out because it's Ghost. No effect. So let's just Gigaton Hammer and see what they got. Aurora Veil comes up, so that'll reduce some damage on their side, but Gigaton Hammer will go through. Clean up the remaining 34%. So we're one apiece at the moment, although they've got Aura Veil up and Snow, which, yeah. Volcarona is going to hurt, so we're kind of forced to switch here. If they Quiver Dance, then we're in a better position with Pidgeot out in the field. Unless they just went straight for Fire. No, they went for Quiver Dance, which is not a bad choice, but good for us to switch into. And let's Tailwind on the chance they Quiver Dance again. Unless they're threatened by Pidgeot. We'll see. Bird. They could try and think about switching out here, but they've kind of committed to Quiver Dancing. But they're afraid of a Hurricane. No, they've decided to stay in. So can't really gauge off previous Volcaronas. But yeah, there's another Quiver Dance. So the Tailwind here brings us on par or back up to where it's at. Let's see if we can have a repeat of Hurricane, Confusion, Hurricane. So Hurricane goes first. Ooh, yeah, the double Quiver Dance has certainly reduced some of that damage. Fiery Dance +2. Doesn't KO us. They get a special attack boost. They lose Snow and Aurora Veil. So, where's that one? Was that back at this one? Oh, it's this one. Oh, they've still got Aurora Veil up. Okay. So yeah, we'll just Hurricane again. Could protect, but I don't know if they're gonna, if they do more Quiver Dances. Okay, so that's 2 Volcaronas we've seen. And there, that'll leave us with Tinkerton, which is not going to be a great solution here. But, well, we'll give Tinkerton a go. Because, yeah, I don't think Gigaton Hammer is very... neither is, so Gigaton Hammer has more of a base power. It's not likely. There's no chance it does 70% damage, so... Yeah, so maybe Rotom would have been a better choice here. Yeah, we're losing to Volcarona, which is most unfortunate. So we need a little bit more. I think singles are certainly harder when you've got 3, they've got 3. So you've got to pick the right 3 versus their 3. So yeah, we lost that one. Like statistically, it is harder to pick because if you pick wrong, then just lose. But it is all still good fun. We had some opportunities there. Probably fit one more in. What do we got? Hippowdon, Tinkerton, Zoroark, Hisuian, Floette, Gyarados, and the Poltergeist. So, people in this scenario like to lead with Zoroark Illusion, but old mate's got Scrappy. So I think Decidueye is going to be the good lead here. We definitely need Rotom, and that'll help for a few. And then I think Pidgeot takes out the rest, right? Yeah. Garchomp, it's not doing great here. So I reckon they'll either lead with Powden or Zoroark Illusion. If they lead with Gary, we've got Scrappy to avoid the Intimidate, but we'll be getting out of there. They lead with Poltergeist. Okay. No drama at all. So yeah, we can triple arrows here because of Scrappy. And then if they're Focus Sashed, Stored Power, no, Icy Wind, righto. And they are faster. My speed fell. Icy Wind does that. Triple arrows should do, yeah, leave it on Focus Sash. And then Shadow Sneak will clean up. So didn't proc their weak armor. Oh, because it's the Zoroark. There you go. Good thing, because we wouldn't have been able to triple arrows. So if Icy Wind us, did about 80 damage. Do we do it again? We have to, I think. Yeah. Because we can't Shadow Sneak. They're just going to Icy Wind again, do another 80-something bit of damage, leave us on 15. We lose a bit more speed, but we pick up the KO. Get another crit. Because, yeah, they would have just Icy Wind whatever we swapped into. So, here's the real Poltergeist. That's why weak armor wasn't popping off. So usually they try and do like a stored power type shenanigans stuff here and get me to proc. They might have Gyarados in the back. Let's see if they do it. No, they're just going to Shadow Ball me. Fine. That doesn't put me in a terrible position. Because now we can bring Pidgeot in, who is immune to Ghost, being a normal flying. And yeah, I don't think there's any issue with Hurricaning. So if you bring in Zoroark, and Poltergeist was your last pick, what was your middle pick? Floette? Floette Mega? So we're faster, we're doing a special attack so we don't proc their weak armor. We do 68% damage, we get the confusion. Do we get them hit themselves? No. But they do Shell Smash, which is a combination that a friend of mine was considering. The White Herb is useful. So this is where they store power and absolutely wreck. So our best bet is to try and get a Tailwind, or maybe they hit Confusion themselves. No, they Baton Pass. A Shell Smashed Baton Pass to what I imagine is going to be Mega Floette. So the Tailwind's useful here, because that puts us above the Floette. And we just try and Hurricane. If we can beat the Floette, we can then beat the Poltergeist that comes back in. But let's see if our Tailwinded Pidgeot can do a bit of damage to a Floette, enough to let Rotom take the kill. There's the Fairy Aura. Yep, so Hurricane goes first. We do 48% damage. Get another Confusion. But they do not get confused, and Moonblast us for big Fairy Aura Floette damage. Again, not what I was expecting Floette to do. We are tailwinded. I don't think we're any faster than or as fast as Pidgeot, so Blow-It's just going to Moonblast us and finish it off. No, they're going to Draining Kiss. That gets them back to 100. I don't think our Hydro Pump is going to Oko. It doesn't even connect. There you go. All right, yep. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. All right, so there you go. Now you've seen the team in action and me trying to pilot the best I can with what I had, with my skill. So yeah, if you want to try the team out, I'll put the poker paste in the description below. If you'd like to see a specific team generated via the website, leave that in the comments below. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I appreciate your support. But until next time, take care and enjoy. Thanks, guys.